You're going to get no funny bits this week.
That's okay, yeah.
I'm not going to make a fool of myself. Evening all and welcome back to Inspire. I'm Amy Jensen and that's not the way it goes in the script. Space 6 describe them. I can't say describe. Describe. Okay. And I've obviously forgotten the next bit already. I'm sassy all the time. Oh, you've got that on camera. That was alright, wasn't it? Evening all and welcome back to Inspire, the show where we look at arts and culture throughout the North East. I'm Amy Jensen and this week we've been taking a look at Space 6, an organisation who offer rehearsal spaces to the performing arts in the North East. Space 6 describe themselves as a hub in the heart of Newcastle, offering affordable individual studios and bookable rehearsal spaces. The spaces are often host to many different avenues of the local performing arts circles. I for one have definitely used the spaces a lot in the past. Anyway, this week we went down to have a chat to the directors and to get a feel for what the space is all about. Hope you enjoy the feature. So why don't you introduce yourself for us and tell us a little bit about Space 6?
Okay. My name is William Steele, as you definitely know. Yeah, and I'm the operational manager here at Space 6.
I'm Lee Rocha, I'm the bookings manager at Space 6. And Space 6 is, first of all, it's a rehearsal space. We hire out space to performing arts-based companies in the North East and beyond. Secondly, we are a networking space. We provide a hub of connectivity for various people from various walks of performing arts. We've got dancers, we've got youth theatres, we've got loads of different...
So covering all the marks?
Yeah, we cover all the... Yeah, we tick every box.
Yeah.
My name is Maureen Isles and Space 6 is space in the centre of Newcastle for performing artists. So it connects talent, it connects opportunity and resource with an aim to encourage people to do it themselves.
Right, okay. So how does your responsibility differ to that of your colleagues here?
I deal mainly with the bookings of the rehearsal space, in that I take bookings, I send out invoices, I make sure the spaces are clean and tidy for everyone, and I deal with getting in more clients for the rehearsal space. I
am responsible for engagement and development. So I go out to a lot of conferences, I go out and meet people. I'm the one who probably spends the least time in the office,
right,
I think is fair to say. Because I'll be the one who will, if there's events on in Newcastle, I'll be at those and I'll be talking about us, saying what we do, saying who we're for.
So networking?
Yeah, networking, for want of a better word, because I think networking
it's got a stigma, hasn't it?
I think it's that business idea, and I suppose we're trying to promote business for independent artists,
yes,
but in a way that doesn't intimidate people.
That keeps it open.
Yeah. So yes, I suppose I'm a primary networker.
Great.
Without wanting to use that word. And then the development side of things is strategy. So I think about business strategy and artistic strategy for the future.
All of the kind of interim day-to-day stuff of actually how the business operates outside of its main business activities. The main things that I'm responsible for is our studio holders and the accounts and the bills, and that everything happens that needs to happen, so that then the other work can occur. Yeah.
What would you say the ethos and the main drive of Space 6 is?
The ethos is possibly more drawn out of ourselves.
Yeah.
Out of our own frustrations as three individuals. Which is an ability and a want to talk to people, to share things with people, to know what people do, how they do it.
Yeah.
So the ethos is about sharing and being able to connect people.
We're about artist retention. That's one of our main ethoses. We want to keep artists in the North East because as much as London is an attraction, going somewhere else is an attraction for people, we have a genuine belief that there is so much for people in the North East to develop and further their careers here without necessarily having to move down south and give that a go. I mean, yes, moving down south there is more opportunity, but at the same time there's more competition. Whereas here you can create some really amazing work, international work as well.
So as the North East, and you know it really well, and you've been here, how have you seen Space 6 fit into the landscape that's already set out in the performing arts culture and the unity that's already there?
We've fit into it more than I ever thought we would.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't necessarily anticipate what was going to happen over the last 8 months that we've been incorporated for and trading for. Where we fit into it is for independence, for those freelancers, rather than the bigger companies. So Northern Stage and Live and other arts organisations, companies provide so much for the area.
Absolutely.
A phenomenal amount.
Mm-hmm.
And they do put us on the map. But what isn't there so much is a middle ground for the people who've just come out of university. And you're not going to go straight from university to necessarily the larger organisations. And that's a really confusing time. So what do you do then? And then there's also people who don't want to be big organisations. There are also people who don't. So NPO is a national portfolio organisation, and that's Arts Council speak. And they are the larger revenue funded organisations. So Northern Stage and Live, for instance, are NPOs. Not everyone will be an NPO, and not everybody wants to be an NPO. Some people want to just purely be independent.
Yeah.
And that's where we fit in with the landscape, because we are saying, giving, providing a platform for those people to exist on.
Yeah, we thought there's got to be some need for this, mostly for the community element of it. Mm-hmm. Because you spend so much time like having to, I need to talk to you about this, or can we go to a cafe somewhere? But when everyone's together, all that kind of stuff happens really naturally and really rapidly as well. So I suppose for me, what's really nice is that we're in the middle ground, really. We're not Northern Stage, we're not Live Theatre, and we're not really in competition with those kind of larger organisations, because you have in the North East this kind of level of fantastic stuff that's going on, and then nothing.
Yeah.
And then Live Theatre, Northern Stage,
doing everything.
You know, these huge big organisations, and where's the middle ground? Where's the stepping stone? Where's the place where you can go to and say, I want to do this thing, but I have questions about this, and this? Mm-hmm. Because we also have fantastic training organisations here, Newcastle College and Northumbria University and things like that, but it's all very heavy on the, the academic and the practice, but then when it actually comes to the nuts and bolts, like, hey, I want to incorporate a company, how do I do that?
Well, you've been around for a lot of years, like in the North East, so how have you found coming into that with Space 6? Creating that space, people that they've actually been looking for a while?
For us, it was a need for us. I mean, we got involved with it because it was something we needed and something we wanted to do for ourselves, because we're not just like space administrators. Mm-hmm. I'm an improviser. I'm also one of the most highly trained transmass actors and transmass teachers in the country, if not across Europe.
On that,
I run workshops in that. I also have another company which is interactive puppet theatre, improving engagement in educational settings and things like that. And we wanted our own space. We wanted our own kind of community and ability to be able to tap into each other. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of where we started to do it, because I think a lot of things that's also very worth picking out is that, unlike the fine art, where it's, hey, I'm the artist and I do my art and then the art is done. In performance, you're not a lot of the time. You're an actor, which means I need a director, I need a stage manager, I need other cast, I need, all this extra kind of stuff, or vice versa. But it's always a team effort. Yeah. Really. Where's the team? And it was a great opportunity for us to start building a space where that doesn't have to happen, but everybody's there if it wants to.
Yeah. Typically, what kind of clients do you usually see coming in and out of here?
The ranges are absolutely infinite. Like in our rehearsal spaces, we have a pole dancing society, but then we might have a dance group, or we had Northern Stage rehearsing the North programme here.
Yes, I used to come in for that every now and then.
And then we've had, we get youth theatre, yoga classes, meditation.
Yeah.
The range is absolutely huge.
So it's very much like anybody can come in once they've approached you to come and use the space the way they want to use it.
Yes, yeah. If it fits in with our remit, if it's performing based, or there is some sort of performance involved in it, then we're the space for you.
Other people who use rehearsal spaces may be using it for more commercial basis, so maybe dance classes or yoga classes, meditation classes. And then you've got those that exist within, so resident artists within Space 6 who also use the spaces. We are here for performing artists.
Yeah.
We are not here for visual artists. That's not because we don't like visual artists, but this floor, this building, Commercial Union House, is full of artists, full of different artists, designers, visual artists. So they exist on those floors, and yeah, our artists can connect, but here is a space for performing artists.
A hub for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've got office spaces as well, don't you?
Yes, and that's where they exist. So you've got Sound Onion, who are a community choir. You've got Sensory Spaces and True Colours, who work a lot with children and the arts with children. Gary Cordingley, who is a storyteller. You've got Curious Monkey, The Letter Room, Precious Cargo Collective.
Alpha Betty's still
and
here.
Alpha Betty is still here.
Yeah.
So they obviously have the venue downstairs.
Yes,
but their office space is still very much from here, and Ali will still be seen pottering about, because even though they've got a theatre space, they still have to do the admin, do the work.
And the rehearsal space, because I imagine they'd still like to rehearse up here sometimes.
Yeah, they do, and we've got a really strong connection with Alpha Betty. I think because it's born out of the same want and desire to impact on the ecology and the infrastructure of the North East and the way the North East creates work. That's where our passions merge.
I would like to see more acting groups. I would like to see more training starting to happen, because at the minute we have people with the provision of, we have rehearsals and we have a lot of dance training, but it was really nice to get some more kind of acting training going on to just create a little bit of a more kind of growing space for
acting
skill
classes,
sharing.
absolutely.
Yeah, because we certainly have it. I mean, I was, me and Lee were in the office the other day talking, because Lee's one of the, he knows a lot about directing and Shakespeare, and if you watch Lee direct, it's like being schooled in how to direct.
Yeah.
And I would say that I could comfortably sit and I could direct something, but I was never trained in it. On the reverse side of that, I'm a very highly trained improviser and mask worker, and you just forget what your specialisms are because they're so real to you.
Yeah.
And then someone asks you a question, you go, oh, well, it's this, and they go, I hadn't even thought about it that way.
Yeah.
And it would be really nice to be able to start building more opportunities for skill sharing, which is where something like Shoal comes in.
Exactly.
Which is, well,
why don't we talk a little bit about Shoal as well, actually, because that's something that this space has almost helped start, because didn't Morag start that?
Yeah, absolutely. We had the space, we had the opportunity, and there wasn't much of a network for independent theatre artists. Again, lots of great stuff going on, but you just don't know, and then it turns out that, oh, the person you really needed for that project, which then you had to fumble through, was you were separated by 1 degree, you know, and you just didn't...
They were hiding under a rock around the corner.
Exactly, right, yeah, entirely. So Morag decided to set up an independent theatre and performing arts network, and that was with Amy Golding from Curious Monkey. And it's been great. It's been fantastic. It's an open forum where people can come, and it's in a certain type of meeting format where things which people want to discuss are then allocated different time settings, and you can just move between the different groups of what's being discussed and what you find interesting. And it's already proven, certainly for me, to be a really useful resource for networking, for information sharing, and even for just like some fun collaborative stuff as well. So
it's the second Thursday of every month, isn't it?
That's what we try to go for, sometimes that does have to chop and change. However, there is a Facebook group for it, and all that kind of stuff.
What would you see the future of Space 6 being from where you're at now?
We're actually only 8 months old, so
you wouldn't think
the possibilities are absolutely endless, and we're always bouncing ideas over, like in the office. Mainly what we want to do is continue to expand, get a larger client base, and you know, in the future we'd like to have our own building that we manage, so we can have some more offices and some more rehearsal spaces.
We want to impact, and it's a conceptual impact in the way that people behave and the way people create work. We have loads of plans. but where we will be is an entirely different story because of where this building will be. In 5 years' time, this building won't be here anymore. It will be knocked down. We can only do what we're going to do because this whole area is going to be redeveloped.
Yeah.
We wouldn't exist without the fact that it's going to be redeveloped. So I don't begrudge that, but it does throw up into question where we'll be. And there have been loads of conversations recently about workspaces and temporary workspaces, because it's not just Newcastle who uses them. Newcastle uses them a lot for visual artists, and then we've kind of taken that on for performing artists. But there are other cities, other regions that are doing it too. So Leeds does it hugely.
Yeah.
A company called East Street Arts, who've just moved into Gateshead Town Hall.
Oh, right, okay.
So they're doing a similar sort of initiative there.
Yeah.
So yeah, this isn't anything new.
Yeah.
We're not innovative in that sense at all. But now the question has to come, and it has to be asked now.
What happens after?
What happens after?
Yeah.
So the vision for the future is that impact, but what will actually happen in the future, that's a huge question.
Yeah.
And that's a huge question that's not just our responsibility to answer, it's the responsibility of the politicians,
Yeah,
it's the
the council.
responsibility of the council.
Yeah.
It's also the responsibility of every single artist who wants to be involved with this initiative,
Yeah.
or is part of this initiative.
In order to keep it running.
Yeah, sometimes the best things come out of the worst situations.
Exactly.
And with that attitude, that's
You can
the
thrive
impact
off it, yeah. Well, that is absolutely brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's been lovely talking to you.
You too.
Thank you.